Good afternoon, Tony Dottino here doing my Live with Tony on Friday, October 17th, and I'm not sure where the days are going. I just celebrated a birthday on Monday, the 13th, and my goodness, the days go by too fast. They need to slow them down. I want to cover with you an interesting article which I think is important to us. As I was doing my reading, sitting at the pool yesterday. Again, I'm in Orlando, Florida, Windermere, Florida, 85 degrees. Did my swimming yesterday, do my running tomorrow, and reading a Harvard Medical School newsletter for November. And here it comes, the hidden danger of insufficient sleep to your heart. And we also know that the hidden dangers of insufficient sleep to your mental fitness, to your memories, and impact that sleep has on our whole body systems. So I'm going to cover the sleeping schedule as it relates to this article, and then we'll tie it into the toxins that stay in your brain. If you don't get that sleep, where you actually are purifying the sleeping and cleaning out those toxins and the impact that it has on your mental fitness. So here we go. Regularly sleeping less than 6 hours per night can lead to health problems that can harm your heart. And not sleeping 3 hours in deep sleep doesn't clean out your toxins either. So you got some issues if you're not getting that deep sleep in a good period of time. We all know that occasional nights of little sleep make us a little groggy, fuzzy thinking, and a mood swing. It's all your mental fitness that's not getting handled. You might know that regularly skimping on sleep makes symptoms worse and leads to stress and weight gain. But many people are unaware that insufficient sleep poses a dangerous health risk to your heart and to your brain. How much sleep is too little? An average person needs 7 to 9 hours of sleep, and this can be difficult to achieve as we get older. An analysis done in May of 25, chronic sleep deficiency leads to high blood pressure. Oh, this is a bonus. You get high blood pressure, coronary artery disease, a stroke, diabetes, obesity, mental health disorders is the mental piece, and even premature death. Other studies link chronic sleep deficiency to 3 times the risk of heart disease. So my goodness, who doesn't know that, and who doesn't want to get a good night's rest? That's the thing that to me continues to drive me crazy. When I talk to people and they tell me they can't sleep and they have insomnia, I mean, I don't know if anybody says, boy, I love the fact that I can't get 6 to 8 hours of sleep. I just think that's so wonderful that I can sleep on 2 hours of sleep and try to function. How do we change our sleep habits? And we go over and over and over again, and this whole notion of insomnia, I've got one of my children that have insomnia, and if you're not getting that 6 or 7 hours of sleep, it's creating a problem. And I know some people say, well, I can get by on 5 hours of sleep, and you wonder, well, geez, where are they making some sacrifices to their now heart as well as to their mental fitness? Well, you're waking up at the same time every morning. This is important to anchor your sleep-wake schedule. So are you waking up automatically at the same time every morning? You should try to go to bed. Obviously now that makes sense at the same time, but now we have NFL games. We have World Series or baseball playoff games. We're coming into the NBA basketball season. In November, we'll be starting with the NCAA basketball, as well as we currently have NCAA football. So if you're staying up to watch any of these late night games, I still wish they would start the games at least at 7, so hopefully by 10, everybody's getting some sleep, or wound up and not getting some sleep because their team lost. And so if you've had a hard time falling asleep, for whatever the reasons are, what do you do? And the one thing that I see is obviously having a comfortable bed. I think that goes with it. Who wants to lay on a bed of rocks? I mean, this is like, some of these suggestions are like, hello? But the thing that's interesting is you obviously want the room temperature to be at least as low as 68 degrees. I know in the winter when I was in New York, my other half wanted to set it at 64, 65, and my God, you just want to stay under the covers and snuggle up and stay warm. You never wanted to get out from 64, 65 degrees. But 68 is what they're recommending. Then turning off electronic devices. I think we're all dealing with that. Shut them down at least an hour before bedtime and reduce your blue light. And don't watch TV or scroll on your phone. Scrolling on the phone is one habit I get before I go to sleep. It's like, I got to get that last show. So I've learned to leave the phone outside the bedroom when it's time to go to bed. I do a crossword puzzle, or I do a Sudoku, so I do engage in some of that for about 10 or 15 minutes, and if all is well, I'm putting it down in 10 or 15, and I'm going to sleep, and I am not letting any of that keep me awake. Turn the lights to low. Switch off bright overhead lights a few hours before bedtime. So not just, so here as we're watching TV, we have kitchen lights, we have a dimmer, so we turn the lights down to the dimmer, and we don't keep the living room light on. So we have some light so we don't trip and fall or walk into something, but we keep the lights turned down low. So we're turning off we got our right bed, right bed temperature. We have the electronic devices. We're starting to shut them down and not go crazy, and we're keeping the lights down and match the darkness that we see outside. Avoid late night exercise. Exercise is stimulating. It raises your body's temperature. Avoid activities 2 hours before bedtime. And God, I don't know, sometimes when this is weird because I read this over and over again. Avoid nighttime exercise. And there are times when I'm tossing and turning, and Evelyn's in New York doing her work, and I'll just get up at 10:30 in the morning and be very careful, putting on a white shirt and light colored pants and white socks, and I'll go out and run in the neighborhood here at 10:30 at night, and when I come back I'll shower, and I'm exhausted, and it helps me get to sleep. So this one drives me crazy because it says avoid late night exercise, so that would tell me if I go out and run at 10:30 I'm going to be up till 2 o'clock in the morning, and that's not the case. I'm back in, showered, and ready to go to bed and sleep like a baby until the next morning. Skip a nightcap. Alcohol's sedating effects can help you nod off, but only in a couple of hours, and it stimulates the brain, and then you're back awake. But more importantly, there's no restoration. You don't get the relaxation. Cut down on caffeine. Alcohol obviously is one. A coffee, caffeinated sodas. You're having sodas with your dinner and things. I always like to have a piece of chocolate after dinner, so I got to make sure I'm not eating chocolate later on because of the caffeine. And so these are some of the things that they recommend, and we've seen this over and over again. And then the biggest suggestion they make is maybe you want to see a cognitive behavioral therapist. If you're having insomnia, you got to find a therapist, and it recommends here www.behavioralsleep.org and go for providers. That's behavioralsleep.org and go search on providers. That's something that keeps you awake. Now, let's tie this up, wrap it up, call it a weekend. If you're not sleeping, they've discovered that sleep, especially for at least 3 hours of deep sleep, helps to clean out the toxins in your brain. And so if you're not cleaning out those toxins, what you're doing is leaving sludge, leaving gook inside your brain, which then has a pattern, a way of interrupting your patterns of thought, and impacts your creativity, and impacts your retention, and impacts your mental health. And so more and more of the neuroscience is sharing the importance of sleep, not just only to our heart and to our body's biosystems, but to the most important thing is your mental fitness. And so if you're tired and you feel groggy, that would be a sign that says, God, I'm not getting sleep and it's impacting my thinking process. That would seem to make common sense. So what you do to ease yourself down, so the simple thing is, don't get yourself all worked up an hour or so before bedtime. Don't read your mail. Don't look at your emails. I don't watch the Yankee games. I'll tape them. If they win, I watch it the next day. If they lose, I just ditch it. I don't need to know how they screwed up and lost. The New York Football Giants are coming back in. Who knows what they're doing, beating the Eagles last week. I didn't see that game. Just learned about it the next morning. And so you learn what are some of the disruptors that can mess up your sleep and getting yourself into a peaceful state of relaxation. And each of us has got them. It's just a matter of finding those that are the ones that keep us anxious and stressful and awake. With this, it's weekend time again. We're going to be visiting some friends in Naples next week. I don't think I'll be doing a Monday broadcast. I wasn't planning on bringing my laptop, so if you don't see me out here on Monday, not to worry. We'll be picking it back up on Wednesday.